All right, thanks. So I will call this meeting of the Canmore Planning Commission to order. And in the spirit of reconciliation, I want to acknowledge and appreciate that we are meeting today in the Treaty 7 region. This land is the traditional territory and home of the Stoney Nakoda nations of Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney, and the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprised of the Kainai, Piikani, and Siksika, the Tsuut'ina Nation, and the Battle River Territory District 4 Métis. And as we gather here, we acknowledge that we are all treaty people. I commit to working to live in right relations and to advance truth and reconciliation, and to acknowledge the many First Nations and Métis whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations. So before adopting the agenda, I would ask each member of the town's administration in attendance today to introduce themselves, and I'll start with Mr. Schneider. And I have to turn all your mics on.
Am I on? Okay, great. Harry Schneider, Manager of Planning and Development for the town. I would also like to introduce to the commission members Ms. Briar Jones, who is the Planning and Development Admin Assistant. She's been with us for 5 months, and this is her very first Planning Commission meeting. And we're super happy to have Briar as part of the Planning and Development team.
Oh, hold on, sorry. There.
Annika Trust, Senior Development Planner with the town.
Andy Asarte, Manager of Engineering with the town.
Mike Stasiak, Community Development Engineer.
Adam Driedzik, Town Solicitor.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. And then, sorry, it's been a while since we've done this, so I'm a little rusty. Bear with me. My name is Whitney Smithers, and I will be the chair for this hearing. All questions and comments need to be directed through me. And at this point, I will ask the Planning Commission members to introduce themselves, starting on my left.
Joanna McCallum, Council Rep.
Jeff Hillstead, Council Rep.
Florian Youngen, Public Rep.
Spencer Thackeray, Public Rep.
And it is a new AV system, so if I'm looking mildly confused or excited that a mic goes on, it's because I'm learning it as I go. So thanks for that. I would like to make a change to the agenda that's in front of us, just given that Mr. Thackeray is going to be declaring a conflict with the item that we're considering today. I would suggest that we move item F, other planning business, ahead of the development permit applications, if that's acceptable to the board. Okay. So then I'll move that the commission adopt the agenda as amended. Those in favor? Okay, that's carried. Thank you. And now to the secretary, are there any additions, deletions, or changes to the minutes of Wednesday, June 19th? Now you have to say it.
Oh yeah, sorry. No additions or amendments.
Okay. So I would move that the commission approve the minutes of Wednesday, June 19th, 2024, as presented. Those in favor? Okay, and that's also carried unanimously. And now we will move to item F, the other planning business.
So we have a new committee member starting in the new year, Hannah Perry. So we will be running training in January. And we just wanted to confirm if there was any training materials or anything the committee needed prior to the start of the 2025 commission meetings. Harry, anything else? Yeah. No? We will advise when the training is taking place, and you guys can opt in or out at that point.
Okay, are there any questions for the secretary? No? Okay, thank you very much. So the process for this afternoon, before we get to the item, will be as follows. Administration will present the matter before the commission. Commission members can then ask questions of clarification of administration. Then if the applicant has a presentation, they're able to make one. Maximum time allotted is 5 minutes, and then commission members may ask questions of the applicant. And then if there are members of the public present that want to speak to it as well, the commission members may, at their discretion, allow for that. Members of the public have 3 minutes each. And then I'll just remind everyone that communication is to be respectful and on topic of the application. So the first application before us is PL 2024-0362, and Mr. Thackeray. Oh, shoot, sorry.
I will be abstaining from participating in the discussion and voting on this application due to pecuniary interests regarding the proposed development.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. And since this is the only item on the agenda, I've told Mr. Thackeray that he doesn't have to stick around to come back in and vote to adjourn, unless anybody really wants him to. No? Okay, good. So with that, I will now ask the development officer to make their presentation on the application. Oh, once Spencer's gone.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Annika Drost, Senior Development Planner with the town, and I'm here to present to you application PL 2024-0362, which is an amendment to a previously approved application that was presented to you in February of this year. And the application is to amend a previous approval for an accessory use with accessory buildings in the form of a Nordic spa. The property is located at 1 Silvertip Trail, which is home to the Mountain House. It is bound by Silvertip Trail to the north and Palliser Trail to the west. The proposed amendment focuses on the overall spa experience for the guests. The number of buildings, overall use of the site, and the fence height variance remain the same as previously approved in the spring. And although administration recognizes that these are very significant changes from a business perspective, the changes are considered minor in nature from an administrative perspective. The changes do not increase the density of the site, do not alter the overall use of the site, and have no significant impact on the intensity of the site. So some of the amendments are circled in red here. So we have the current proposal on the right side, and then on the left side we have the previous proposal or the previous application that was approved. So some of the changes include exterior material changes to the building, as well as a portion of the fence, expansion of building D's basement, which is on the far right side, and some of the pool sizes were increased and the pool locations adjusted. There was also some landscaping added along the cemetery section, and a staff-only service path added. All changes still comply with the land use bylaw as well as the EDCG requirements, with the exception of the fence variance that was previously approved. So the previous application was approved by CPC and later upheld by SDAB with the addition of conditions. With this proposal and this recommendation, we're recommending that the conditions remain the same as approved by the SDAB with 3 changes. We have added 2 additional conditions, which are the cancellation of the DP that was previously approved, as well as the submission of as-built drawings at a later stage. And those simply reflect consistency with general practice. Additionally, we have a variation of a previous condition, which is new condition 19 and was previous condition 17, which you can see on the screen. And that condition was simply updated to ensure that to show where municipal authority comes from when it comes to the alignment of the pathway. So in summary, the application complies with the land use bylaw with the exception of the fence height, which is identified as a variance in Schedule A, and administration recommends approval with those Schedule A conditions as discussed in my presentation. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions for the development officer? Mr. Young.
Thank you, Mrs. Drost, for your presentation. My understanding, just from reading the newspaper, is that the SDAB decision has been appealed to the appeal court. Is that something we have to consider in our decision?
I will defer that to our solicitor.
No, that is not something for you to consider in your decision. That's not a planning consideration.
And if I could just follow up, do you mind putting up the additional conditions that SDAB? Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions? No? Okay, thank you, Ms. Drost. And then I understand the applicant has a presentation. No? Okay, well, there we go. I will then move the recommendation that Canmore Planning Commission approve PL 2024-0362, subject to the conditions of approval as set out in a Schedule A or Attachment 6 attached to the report. Any question or any comments on that?
Can I speak?
Yes.
So I agree that the amendments to the application are minor in nature from a kind of planning standpoint. I appreciate that some of the changes include addressing adjacency to the cemetery. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to support this application.
Councillor McCallum?
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be happy to support this application. I too appreciate the screening provided between the parcel and the cemetery. And I don't think I realized till I looked at it last night what an oddly shaped lot it is. Anyways, thank you.
Councillor Hillstad?
I will also be happy to support for all the reasons previously stated. Again, these are minor changes, but I think some good ones, so I'm happy to support.
All right, thanks, everyone. So then the motion in front of us is that Canmore Planning Commission approve PL 2024-0362, subject to the conditions of approval as set out in Schedule A. All in favor of that? Okay, and that is carried unanimously. So with that, there was no other business because we've already dealt with it. To the Secretary, when is the next scheduled meeting of Planning Commission?
Wednesday, December 11th at 2 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much. And now I will move that Commission adjourn the November 28th meeting of Canmore Planning Commission. Those in favor? And that's carried as well.